As we take a moment to shine that local spotlight on a new local business, we are all ears at 99.1 FM today, and we welcome Justin Sinave here with us to the studio. Did I get that right?
You got it.
All right, there we go. All Ears is new to Wallaceburg and Chatham, Kent. So first and foremost, welcome. Thanks for setting up shop.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
Hey, great to see and celebrate local business, hearing and balance at All Ears. You're at 204 LaFontaine Street in Wallaceburg. We know it as the Forks in the Burg, right in front of Connett Park and near the Wallaceburg Wellness Center. It's a nice little setup for you guys, too.
It certainly is. We like being over there.
Awesome. So you are Wallaceburg's audiologists, Justin and Yana, partners in their audiology practice, also have a family together, work, living, and play in one location. How's that working out for you?
That's right. It's all day, every day. You're unlikely to find two people that talk about sound and ears so much as we do. So we're all ears in the true sense of the word, all puns intended.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All Ears in Wallaceburg, now open to the public. It was about a year ago this adventure began for you guys.
That's right. We signed a lease here about a year ago, and we've been chipping away at our dream project ever since. We're fully invested in what we do, and we love it.
All right. We want to learn the background and what services you have to offer at All Ears in Wallaceburg. So let's just start. An audiologist. We hear that audio, ears,
Yep.
hearing. But break it down for us. What is that?
So it's not every day that you think about your hearing or about ears. So audiologists, we're regulated health professionals in hearing and balance, because your inner ear is also your balance organ, which not everybody thinks about or knows. So we see people for both those types of issues. We assess and treat both. I can make an analogy if this is helpful. So most often people address vision before they address their hearing. So in the vision world, there's opticians, there's optometrists, and there's medical doctors that specialize in the eyes and the vision system. There's kind of three tiers of training. So in the hearing side of things, it's very similar. You have hearing instrument specialists or dispensers. You have audiologists. And again, you have a medical doctor who specializes in the ears, nose, and throat. So an audiologist is like the optometrist with regards to your hearing system. We're in the middle of the sandwich in terms of training.
You're the meat.
That's right. Exciting times.
All right, so you were talking off air. We were talking about your roots, so we were talking music. You've got some local ties, but why Wallaceburg? Why did you guys decide to set up shop in the Burg?
So we were looking to settle down someplace. I've got deep roots in Chatham, so my grandmother came here in 1936. She's lived on the same farm since she was 12 years old. She's currently 98 and doing awesome. So she was a draw to come back here. I've got other family here as well. And when we were scoping out Chatham, Kent as a whole, Wallaceburg came up as an area with tons of opportunity. So we came out here on our first visit driving into town. We found a spot 20 minutes later, called the landlord and said, we'll take it. So we committed almost immediately.
Wow. That's awesome. How's Grandma's hearing, by the way?
She does wear hearing devices. By the time you hit somewhere around age 90, everybody's going to have some form of hearing loss. That's to be expected.
Mm-hmm. And I bring that up for a point because when you ask me, what do you think people think about when they see or hear about audiologists and hearing aids seniors is what pops into mind.
Right.
But that's not the entire spectrum, of course, and that's not all you do. You mentioned training. Why else should someone see you? Who else and what else do you provide?
Right. So you pointed out often you associate aging and hearing problems. Of course, we have people born with hearing issues. We treat kids as audiologists and adults. So in Chatham, we've got the Children's Treatment Center. There's a couple of girls over there, audiologists. They do a fantastic job. In fact, I finished my training over there a few years ago. In terms of why would you see us here in Wallaceburg at All Ears, we understand people work during the day. It's not easy to leave your job, take a day off, and address your health. So we offer extended hours. We're open until 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Whether we got somebody or not, we're there for you. And we also do Saturday appointments by request.
Okay. Good stuff. Hearing aids, we brought that up quite a few times. We know there's a good investment involved here, notoriously expensive almost. Why is that?
They are. I should say first that All Ears is doing something to address that, and I'm excited to talk about that. But first, there's two primary reasons why hearing aids are costly. Number one, I also have to pay large amounts of money for them, thousands of dollars. It depends on the model that you're looking at. And there's many manufacturers and producers of those devices. They're all in competition with each other, which means they have to release new products every year or two, and they invest a lot in research and development to do that, which is a downside for everybody from that perspective. But like anything else in life, there's trade-offs. There's no perfect solution. So the upside is what we have today is light years ahead of what we had 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They're a lot more reliable. They're more discreet. They come much closer to natural hearing than we ever could before. So that's a great upside to it. The second primary reason hearing aids have been costly is traditionally they're sold with 3 to 5 years of service included in the upfront cost. That's necessary to look after people in that way. However, where All Ears is doing something differently is we would rather defer that cost and put that off for a while, because that allows people to address their issues sooner, which has been a big obstacle. So we clearly separate the cost of the devices from the cost of our services. We give you the choice how often you'd like to see us. How would you like to pay? By appointment. You can opt into our in-house insurance, and it also allows us to see people that have came from a different provider. You don't have to buy something from it. You can come in and see me, and I can work with what you have. We've already seen many families in Wallaceburg who came in with donated hearing aids, and I said, I can work with that. We assess you. I program them for you. It costs a few $100s to do that, but then you can address your problem today instead of next year.
We know there's also waiting lists that many folks are on, waiting to get a correction, to get a device, etc. Should those people be getting in touch with All Ears?
Yes, they should be, if convenience is something that's important to you, right? It's whatever's best for you. We're here for you when you want to come see us. Often the public systems have quite the waiting list. So if you have an urgent concern, by all means, call us. We can get you in within the same week, most likely.
Justin with us from All Ears in Wallaceburg at 204 LaFontaine Street in Wallaceburg, now open for you. We mentioned hearing, balance, the combination there. What should we know about our ears that maybe we take for granted?
I love this question. The world is a noisy place. We are
more noisy by the day.
That's right. We're both involved in a lot of noise every day. So are a lot of other people, right? If you work construction, if you're working in agriculture and farming, if you work in a factory, you're around a lot of noise. It doesn't have to be painful before you do damage. It's a very insidious thing. Think of sound like sugar, right? Think of your teeth. You enjoy sugar. It's great once in a while. By all means, enjoy it. But when you have something in abundance, it can do things in the long term that you don't expect, right? Sugar or sound, if you have it in abundance, it's a risk factor for diabetes. There's all sorts of things that happen over time. So I'd rather see you sooner and talk to me about how you can get the most out of your ears before you have a problem.
Is there an upside to someone who may not have a hearing issue, may not realize, but, I'm about to turn 40. Should I be getting my ears checked?
Typically, where age-related hearing loss comes into play for most people might be in their 50s. There's a lot of variance there, so it's hard to come up with a sure number in terms of age.
What if you have headphones cranked all day, every day in a radio studio?
I don't want to tell you the answer to that.
I'm asking for a friend, Justin.
I have encountered people in their teenage years who have done noise damage, which is reflected on the test. I've seen a carpenter who was in his 30s and his wife and kids were saying, "You're not hearing us." You can do damage quite early, depending on what your life is like.
All right. See Justin. He'll get you taken care of at All Ears. And let me ask you, you've set up shop. It's been a year since you signed that lease. Obviously a new reality for you and the family, consumed with this, and good for you. Why have you decided to do what you do, Justin?
So I wasn't very nice to my ears. For quite a long time when I was younger, I was exposed to noise at work. I played in bands with guitars and drums. And when you go into smaller spaces, sound is pressure. And that makes a difference, too. You multiply the amount of damage you're doing. So just when I was 21, I encountered issues, which you'd think, man, that's young, isn't it? That happens. So I developed chronic tinnitus or tinnitus, tomato.
Yep.
Most people think of this as ringing in the ear. So I have that chronically 24 hours a day. It can affect your sleep at first for some people. I also had loudness sensitivity issues, so I had reduced tolerance for sound. So I had an accumulation of all sorts of problems, and I couldn't find a professional that could get me through to the other side and make sense of this situation. So me being stubborn and needing a solution, I said, well, fine, I'll go back to school and study this myself. So I spent 6 years doing that. I met my partner, Yana, who was on a very similar trajectory. So we combined strengths to form All Ears. We picked Wallaceburg. We're here to stay. So if you have a chance this weekend, the 21st, January 21st, when we have our open house, come by and chat with us, see who's behind the blue door.
Well, absolutely love it. I love that it's family run and operated here too. Justin and Yana here for you at All Ears, 204 LaFontaine Street in Wallaceburg, in front of Kinnett Park at the Forks, right next to the Wallaceburg Wellness Center. And yes, that open house for you next Saturday, January the 21st. What are the hours on that open house?
It'll be from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Drop by, have a coffee or another hot drink from Sweet Tree Cafe. We'll be raffling off a few prizes. You can have a night out with your family or yourself, whatever you want to do. James Street Eatery, we've got a $100 gift card for them. You can have a nice night out. Par 72 Golf Lounge just opened. We've got a gift card for them. Have a couple hours there and come and chat with us. We'd be happy to chat about anything sound or ear related at all. We're all ears.
We'll send you, I like it, I get it. We'll send you at the door with some tickets here from us today for that open house as well, pal. Justin here with us from All Ears, now open for you at 204 LaFontaine Street in Wallaceburg, online at allearsclinics.ca. Appreciate you being here. All the best and welcome to Wallaceburg.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.